Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry. I said it the wrong way. Good evening, good evening, good evening, you guys. Come on in here.
Yes, yes.
It's 6 o'clock. You said it's what?
It's time. It's time for the show.
It's 6 o'clock, you guys. We are going to go ahead and get it rolling. As we said, 6 o'clock on the dot. So we are in here. We have some guests, some dinner guests that we have with us that's going to have dinner, and we're going to play a game, and we are going to chat a little bit, and then we're going to let you guys go. But we're waiting for a few of you all to come on in. Let us know that you're in there. I'm going to pull up the comments so that I can see. Let us know that you are in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Let us know that you are in. Oh, and it's okay. We have someone on that's going to be that is in Florida. So they're 9 o'clock their time. So they stayed up late with us to have dinner. They probably already ate though. But you guys come on in. Let us know that you are in the room, that you are in. Say something to us in the comments. Say hey.
Like and share.
Oh, click like and share.
Click like and
you
share.
used to me saying that.
Yes, I am.
Click like and share. I'm trying to see who's all on so I can address those. You guys come on in, like and share. This is something that is going to be fun, not heavy at all. That was the purpose of bringing this on tonight, the couples dinner game and chat. Just wanted to bring something a little lighter. I know a lot of our topics have not been so heavy, but they could be depending on the person that's receiving it and what they're going through. So we just wanted to come on tonight and just be a little looser. I mean, not looser, a little lighter. Be a little lighter. Hey, Nicole, thank you for joining us, sis. Thank y'all. Thank you, Lo. Thank you, Dre, for joining us. Grab your honey. Grab your boo. Grab your dinner. If you haven't eaten already, grab you a snack or something. You guys check in. We're going to go ahead and bring in the guests that we have in the back. We have the Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. We have Mr. and Mrs. Naylor. We have the Collins, but let her know that we're about to bring them. We have the Collins. We're going to bring them on. We have from all the way from Florida, Shasta and her honey. We're going to bring them on in the Naylor. So you guys stand by. Let me get them on here with us.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey there, you guys.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
All right.
Hello. Hi.
How's everybody?
Hello. Yeah.
All right. I think we are all here. We are all here. So look, I want to say first and foremost to all of you that are on this platform today, it's not a platform. We're going to pretend like we're sitting at the table together, right? And just have regular old conversation and regular old fun. Let's not do anything too heavy. But yeah, let's not do anything too heavy. But with this game, it may be a little something, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I promise you. I promise you. So again, the purpose of tonight's event, I'm calling it, the purpose is so that we can shift from all of the heavy stuff that we have been just kind of thrown into. We didn't choose it. For the past 5-6 months, we have been in this pandemic, and that could be a very stressful and heavy place for some of us. And so I have these couples here tonight. A couple that have been on the previous shows, and then they were allowed to bring their plus one. What's so amazing is 2 couples were not able to make it, but we got 2 couples that were able to step in and fill in, not saying for them, but they're here. And I believe that everything happens for a purpose, for a reason. And I want to say thank you guys for saying yes to the Jones. Thank you so much. You came by way of Alvin and Sabrina Eddington. And so we thank you, Shasta. You came by way of, IG, huh? And she's all the way in Florida. So I thank you guys for staying up. I have someone else back there. Hold on, you guys. Okay. So we just want to say thank you. We're going to go ahead and get started. The way we're going to do this is there will be dinner. We're going to do, well, we're not going to really have dinner because there's a couple of folks that already had their dinner. They said they were hungry. But what I want them to do, and we're going to go couple by couple, I want you to describe your meal as if it's your marriage or your relationship. And I want to know, the taste, the flavor of it, and what did it look like. But remember, you are describing your marriage. So I'm going to start with the Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. What did you have for dinner?
Well, we had fried chicken. What is it called? Fried cream corn.
Fried corn.
Yeah. Cabbage, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. That's what we had.
So in terms of describing it as our marriage, so my task was to describe how it looks, right? So it's golden brown, delicious, familiar, but a variety. Familiar, yes. Me and my husband have been together since I was 15 years old. So he's very familiar to me. So our meal is familiar. I fry chicken every Sunday almost, right? So it's familiar. Yummy and variety because we mix it up. So today I did fried corn, which I normally don't do. I had to call my mama and make sure I was seasoning it right. And so that was the variety. And yummy.
You said that.
No, I said yummy. Okay.
Nice. You said yummy twice. I'm like, okay. You is yummy. Very good description. That's why when I sent the emails, I said, now, be careful what you're cooking because you're going to have to describe this thing according to your marriage. So be mindful of how you're going to have to word this, right? Mm-hmm. So Collins, Mr. and Mrs. Collins, what about you?
You know what? I had beef teriyaki with vegetables that were so colorful. They were beautiful. They were the colors of the rainbow. And when that beef hit my mouth, I mean, it's all of the flavor of the beef was just amazing. It just is like my wife when I saw her for the first time. It was like color, it was beauty, it was majesty, just kind of just coming to me. The plate was full of rice, so it was full at the bottom, and then at the you know what, the way I'm sounding, I need to kind of stop talking. Didn't you just tell us I'm talking about bottoms and tops and things?
Hey, listen,
we're having fun.
Go ahead.
So listen, it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, and the sauciness that was attached to this meal. I mean, when it hit my mouth, it was just amazing. So we had carrots, and I had zucchini, I had cucumber, I had onions on there, and every time I took a bite, it was like something familiar but something different. And that's why I love my wife, because she is not monochromatic. She's not the same person every single day. So she's so full. There's so many different facets of her. In our marriage, we've been married for 20 years now. We have a 19-year-old, we have a 15-year-old, and we have an 11-year-old. So we have an extremely colorful life. And my meal today was just like our marriage, extremely colorful, tasteful, tasty, and saucy. That's what we had. That's what I had for dinner today.
I love it.
He was actually, I was in the background listening to how he was explaining that.
Right.
That was one description.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But here's the thing. Something that stood out for me that you said is that she's not the same every day. And that right there is so big because you recognize it, which tells me that because you recognize it, you are not the same every day. That means you are adjusting and addressing who she is. You know, as she maneuver into the woman that God has designed her to be, created her to be, she's growing into, because, you know, you have those children that are going through different things in their lives that are going to cause for her to be a different woman, a different mother, right? And so you are riding a wave right along with her. And so I say salute to you. That was good. That was something that stood out for me. And for the Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what stood out for me is that you said that it's familiar. You guys have been together since, you know, teenagers. And sometimes we do better with what we are familiar with. When we have to begin to operate. So it's kind of like you guys said, two of the opposite things, two opposite things, right? But they're both powerful in itself. Both of them are extremely powerful. You know your husband, you know your king, you know, you've been growing with him, you've been learning with him, you have been walking with him, you have been being designed by God for him. And so it's familiar. When he does something, when he says something, you know either to respond or not, because sometimes it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and either leave that up to you and your father, or God says not yet, because there's something that I'm working on within him. So let it be, right? So we have to be open to that. So thank you both for those great descriptions. Okay, so Nailers, what did you have, or what are you having for dinner? What's your meal, and how would you relate it to your marriage?
So what we had is classic and traditional spaghetti and meatballs.
I can hear you.
And the way I would relate that to our marriage is that.
Hold on, you guys.
Hold on 1 second.
Is it hard for y'all to hear them? Yes. Okay. It's kind of hard for us to hear you, Nailers.
Try turning your volume up on your computer.
Who was that talking? Because I heard him saying.
Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear
A
me?
little better.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, it's breaking up. You guys go ahead and fix that. We're gonna go to Shasta.
We'll come back to you.
We'll come back to you. Shasta, what was your dinner? You probably done with dinner. It's 9 o'clock.
Yes, but I took a picture of it. So we pretty much usually have 2 separate meals because I'm pescatarian. And then our diet is just like really different. But I had salmon with sauteed spinach and broccoli. And it's very healthy. And I think that we have a really healthy relationship. Me, especially coming from like toxic relationships in the past. He's really good with communicating and listening to me. And I'm becoming a much better communicator. So yeah, I think my meal was very healthy. It keeps things flowing in the body. So I think the communication that we have keeps us flowing together on the right path.
Right.
For my dinner, I cooked macaroni and cheese, baked beans, and I did curry chicken wings. And I guess for my meal to describe it, to use it as a way to describe our relationship, fulfilling, because everything that I cook, macaroni and cheese is going to fill you up. The baked beans are going to fill you up. The curry chicken, the gravy from the chicken is going to fill you up. So I guess fulfilling would be the best way to describe our relationship when we're talking about the food that I made. It's very fulfilling.
Nice.
Right.
And so you two aren't married, correct? You date with a purpose. You're not married.
Right.
I love it. What'd you say?
I said definitely dating with a purpose.
Okay, right. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Hello. But the two things that was said, communication and fulfilling, both speaks volumes for a relationship. You know, he's teaching you, and usually, most times it's the opposite. Usually it's the woman that is the better communicator, and for you to say that he's the better communicator in a relationship, it goes to show you that when we talk about roles, when we talk about what the woman usually or the man usually do this or do that, it is not set in stone. You know, it's not Bible, so to speak. And so I say thank you for being available and honest, saying that you are in the student's seat, right? In that place. You are being available to learn how to be a better communicator, and that he has come along and shown you that, right? From what I hear, what I gather, he hasn't like been browbeating you. He's been showing you by being a great communicator. And so that's always important. Many times we want to tell the person how to, but really the best way of doing it is showing them, be what you want to see. And so and he said that it's fulfilling. You are enough. You are enough, right? And we all want to know that I'm enough. You know, there's nothing else that he needs. Everything that he needs, I'm bringing that to the table. And that is a comforting feeling, right? And especially with you being in the position the stage that you're in your relationship, you're not married. You haven't went before God. You haven't said, I do. You haven't committed to the commitment, but you've committed to where you're at today, and he's showing you and he's telling you that you are enough for me, my queen. So that's great.
And I was going to add to that. It also shows the balance that you guys possess. It's the balance, you know, coming from she's a Presbyterian. She takes care of her body clean. Not saying you don't, but because I love to be fulfilled too. I love fulfillment. I love filling type of foods. You know, I love that and home style cooking. You know, so coming from a chef's background, I understand where you're coming from. But again, I say you guys, it shows the balance that you're allowing yourself to have in your relationship. That balance, you're being fulfilling. She's bringing that purity, and you guys are mixing those two things together. You know, relative to the food and in your relationship. Not more. Yeah. So I just want to express that.
Very good. That was a good input.
Yeah.
Nailers, y'all ready for us?
Can you hear us now?
Yep.
So what we had was spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti, homemade meatballs with pasta and sauce are items that all go together real well. They blend together. They taste good together. You kind of can never go wrong with those. And to add and with a little Parmesan cheese on top. And you can't add too much different ingredients to it because you can mess around and get a bad taste. And that's where we kind of represent our marriage. We don't add a whole bunch of stuff to it. You add too many different ingredients, something go bad, then it'll spoil the whole fun of it. And to create some balance, we had a nice green salad with some ranch dressing. And then to complement that meal, we had some breadsticks and some nice Alfredo sauce. And that's kind of like for our marriage, I would say would be like having the children and the other part of our marriage. You know, every marriage don't have that in them, and that probably was something that we probably didn't need with the meal, but for us, it makes us who we are.
Absolutely. Did you want to add to that, Nikki?
No, I just said absolutely. Adding the bread was a nice touch. Fulfilling.
Say that again.
I said adding the bread was a very nice touch. Fulfilling.
I can't hear you.
So you guys are freezing just a little bit, but what I did hear him say in the beginning is the mix and not adding too much. And when you add too much, let's just keep it simple, right? I know we will say that marriage is it's a lot of work, but it really doesn't have to be so complicated. Not when you sit down and plan, right? When you create and design your relationship and your marriage the way that you want to see it go, right? Because everybody's plan and design is going to be different. So it doesn't have to be complicated. as long as you're sitting down and you're communicating and saying, pinpointing what it is that you want in each stage and phase of your relationship or your marriage, then things can go smooth. You will run into some hiccups. There will be some bumps in the road. However, you refer back to the plan, refer back to the design, and then you keep moving. Yeah. So we got to talk about our food, right? I haven't even tasted my food. How about that? But what I am going to say is it looks delicious. It's jambalaya. And I'll let him tell why he chose that, because I gave him the opportunity, not the opportunity, but I told him to take that, take over that part.
Let's see it.
They can see it. Right? So why did you chose jambalaya?
Yes, I did.
And tell the people why you chose jambalaya while I taste it.
Well, there were so many dishes I could have chose from. There were so many dishes that I had in mind, but I went back to my Louisiana roots. My family, a lot of my family are from Louisiana. A lot of my family have Creole roots. Baton Rouge, Ninth Ward, and I just chose that because I have a taste. I have a taste for flavor. That's my thing. That's my niche. We just talked about that the other day. She was asking me about my niche, and I was like right on it. I know exactly what I am and what I'm capable of, and that's building flavors. And again, that goes back to where I'm from, and a lot of where my people are from. And they like to build flavors. It's a thing about building flavors. The thing you want to do is start with the basics. You start with your prep. You start with different things, and you start building these flavors, and it's building this. And that it ties into relationship. Relationship's all about building. It's about growth. It's about sustainability and longevity. And that's the thing you also want to have when you're building food and flavor. You want to have sustainability. You want to have flavor. You want to have boldness. You want to have, and like my man said earlier, color. Color and is the color of it, the bold flavors. We as a couple, of course, we've been dating with a purpose as well, and we have this. I know we have a flair to our relationship. She's a very exciting and bold, and she's outgoing, and then I bring to the table those same qualities to the table. So again, I just thought I'd go with something bold and flavorful. I was originally going to do etouffee, but then I chose the jambalaya because it's more. I was going to bring more color and more sassy and more boldness to it, and she's a little sassy as well. So just a little sassy.
Well, let me tell you, it is very delicious, and it does have a kick, nice spicy kick to it.
Yeah.
And I would say that our relationship does have some spice to it, and if I can just be real and transparent, sometimes you allow the spice to be removed from your relationship or your marriage, not on purpose though, right? Like life happens, things happen, we get busy, and we just start, our everyday life just begins to change, right? And how we operate with each other. And that's been a little bit of our struggle. I wouldn't call it a struggle, but that's been a little bit of what we've been encountering over the past couple of months, but still making sure that we come together and talk about it. Like, okay, what is this? What is that? Why does it feel like this, right? And so I want to say to you all that we all had different meals here tonight. However, everything that we all said, that we defined our meals as our relationships or our marriages, is just a big goulash of what's needed for us, a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage. Everything that was said, from communication, from flavor, from boldness, right? From being enough. We all need some of that. And so I brought us all here together so that we can pull from each other, right? Sometimes we feel like we're in this thing by ourselves, but we have to be okay with knowing that there's other folks out there that are going through or went through the same thing we're going through. And we have to be okay with reaching out to other people in that. So I say thank you guys for joining us for that portion, this session, the meal versus your marriage portion. But I want to go ahead and swing on over to the game. So what I did for you viewers, I sent them, I sent a couple of them a dry erase board, the dry erase marker, and 2 cards with questions or comments on it for each individual, for the wife or for the husband. And what we're gonna do is, you're the woman, the wife is going to ask the question to the husband, and he is going to answer it for himself. But she is going to, in turn, say what she think or what she thought he would say, right? So it's called How Well Do I Know You? Because many times we think, oh, I know him like the back of my hands. But yeah, things change. Things change. And if we aren't communicating effectively, we'll miss it. We'll miss it. So I want to start with, well, the way that we started with the meal. So we're going to start with Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Brandy, read us your first question, love.
So the first question I have is, what song reminds us of each other?
If I get this wrong, I'm gonna have to sleep outside. What I believe what she would say is the song that I sang her on our wedding day. And it's by Tony Terry, When I'm With You.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would say.
That's Tyra.
You sung that to her at the wedding?
Huh? Yes, I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay. So you can really sing, or you just wanted to show her that you love her?
He can really sing.
Nah, I just mess around a little bit here.
No, he's our music minister, and he is he sings. He's got music on you. What is it? He's recorded. He's recorded. He can really sing.
But the funny thing is,
I believe you, Brandy.
The funny thing is, when I was practicing, right,
Yeah.
my mother told me, she said, you're not gonna mess up, you don't need no backup, something like that. I said, Ma, I got this, I ain't even tripping. And lo and behold, it was time to sing, and they opened that door, and she started walking down, and I literally forgot some of the words to the song.
Wow.
And so I have yet to try to look back at that video because I know I've forgotten those words. So I don't even want to see the video. So it's just, but yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to get you to sing one day,
But that's 1 point for us, though.
I got your point.
1 point.
I got your point. He's like, don't get all
No.
mixed up and all this talking.
Exactly, right?
I got your point. I froze. I saw that.
Yeah.
Michelle, what is your first question?
So my first question was, what's your favorite photo of your partner?
Wow.
Wait. Oh, wait. So it's what I think is your favorite photo of you? I think I messed that one up. Did I mess that one up? It's what I think his favorite photo of him, but I like it, right?
Read the question. Read the question again.
What's your favorite photo of your partner?
What's his favorite photo of you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I messed it up, but I think I know what it is.
Okay, now if she thinks she knows what it is, I'm in trouble. I don't think we're going to be aligned on this. But anyway, there is a picture of her. She's going to be totally shocked, because there is a picture of her that when I first met her, that I saw in her mother's house, and it was a high school picture of her that I still remember and see today, where her hair was flipped up and she had not too much makeup on, guys. It just looked all natural. And the reason why I say that that's my favorite picture, because I still have vivid images of that picture in my head today. It might have been a college picture or something when she graduated. And I just always. Now, mind you, she's taken some amazing, beautiful pictures professionally and the whole thing. But that's one of my favorite pictures because it just reminds me of the first time that we met and us, our first time being together. Y'all got 1 point. We got 0.
That's not what I wrote.
Hey, well, guess what, fellas?
What did you write?
I still got 4.
What did you write, Michelle?
So I thought it was my favorite picture of him. So I wrote, it's the photo that I have on my my home screen on my phone.
Okay.
Okay, wrong.
Okay. I don't know if y'all can't get that one. Michelle didn't even answer it right. I can't even give you that point. All right, Naylor. So
What'd
no
you
point
say?
for the Collins. Naylor.
Yeah.
What's your question, Nikki?
Okay, so my first, can you hear me?
Yes.
My first question is, what have you lost since childhood that you would like to regain?
Wow.
What have you lost since childhood that you would like to regain? Okay.
Yes.
So you answer what you think he would say.
Yes.
Okay.
I would, for me, I would say it'd probably be our mom.
What did you put, Nikki?
My mom.
You like, yes. All right, the Naylors got one. The Naylors got one. All right, the Naylors got one. The Jones got one.
Yeah.
The Collins. They coming.
They're coming for you.
All right, Shasta.
My question is, what would you miss most if you were no longer in this relationship?
So I have to answer as if I knew the way she would answer.
No, you have to answer it real. Like you have to answer the question.
Okay. Read that question again.
What would you miss most if you were no longer in this relationship?
What would I miss the most? Oh, yeah, we ain't gonna get this one right. I would probably say I would miss the this type of stuff. Like I wouldn't normally do this type of stuff. This is her niche. This is her thing. Like she thinks outside of the box. I'm in the box. So I would say I wouldn't know what word or how to what word would explain it, but it would be this type of stuff. I would miss this type of stuff because this is her thing.
She's more outgoing and she connects more with others.
Right.
Okay. What did you say? Shasta?
I said Tyrone would say I would miss our connection, the time we spend, and the way I care for him.
I don't know. Because it was no. That's a good answer, but
that's a good answer. That's not how. That's not how I would word it. Like you answered like for me.
You said we got this point. That's how I would have worded it.
No, you wouldn't have worded it like that. Is that what you said?
Absolutely not.
But that was real close though.
That was close.
You know why? Because she said the time spent
and the connection.
And the connection. So he's connecting with other folks.
Yeah.
And spending time.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do this, right?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all that point. I know the Collins are lying. We gonna go ahead. We gonna go ahead and give y'all that point.
That was one of them 0.5.
That's a 0.5. That is kind of like half the point.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. Devon. All right, go ahead with your second question. No, Jones. Brandy.
Okay, I'm looking at my email and it went away from me. Hang on, let me see. Okay, oh no. Okay, hang on. Maybe if I look at my answer, I'll know. Oh, okay. What clothes would he like me to burn?
Of yours, right?
Yeah, what clothes of mine would he like me to burn?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there they go.
Oh man, let me see. It would probably be. It's like this bedwear she has. It's like these flannel or cotton pajamas that is just like, it's so comfortable. It's on repeat too often. You know what I mean? So
he just said answer the question. They didn't ask you to.
They didn't want. I'm trying to get them to understand my pain. You know what I mean?
You brother. I understand.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just in rotation. Is that what you said? See, she said my sweatpants, shorts that she wear to bed. So see, that's that cotton stuff that I'm talking about. That's too comfortable.
That is a point.
That's a point. Y'all 2 for 2.
Yeah.
All right, Collins. You muted.
Okay, so my second question was, what do you most remember about our first kiss? What do you remember most about our first kiss?
Wow. I remember the place. I remember that it was in the evening. I remember that it was at the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles.
Very romantic.
Is that a point?
Most. What do you remember?
Oh, okay. I was trying to get the location. I'm trying to get points. I'm trying to get points. So what I remember, I'm trying to answer real quick and
get the point, man.
So what it is, I remember is that we were lost in the kiss. We were literally lost in the kiss, and it was at Griffith Observatory. Once again, everybody was around us, but it was like nobody was there. It was just us, and we stayed for a long time because it was a real good kiss, y'all. It was a real good kiss. Is that good? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Is that what you said, Michelle?
Ding, 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 ding. We got one.
So I said, let me see. I said it was long.
Okay. You definitely got that. You have a point, Collins. All right. Well, I gotta tap in a little bit on the kiss thing. So day number 1, this guy comes over and he's super tall and I'm way down here on him. And he goes to kiss me. And I said, wait, hold up. We don't do that on day 1. Like, you're not about to kiss me? That's our kissing story. That's our first kiss. We didn't kiss, but that's our kissing story.
It wasn't for a lack of trying.
It wasn't for a lack of trying. You're right. All right, Nailers. What's your second question, Nikki?
My second question is, how can men and women understand each other better?
Say it again.
How could men and women understand each other better?
How can men and women understand each other better?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I would say she would probably say sitting down and talking or having talk sessions with each other, or something to do with talking one-on-one with each other. Am I right?
I said by listening.
Same difference. Same difference.
Same difference. Same difference.
Communicating, the same thing.
Okay, because I gave them their point.
Yeah, it was close enough.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you your point. Nailers, they're 2 and 2.
Y'all got that.
All right, Shasta.
What's the most romantic thing your partner has done for you?
Say it again.
One more time.
So that would be what's the more.
What's the most romantic thing your partner has done for you?
What's the most?
So would you say the most romantic thing I've done for you?
The most romantic thing. Okay, for my birthday.
Oh gosh!
You didn't want this to be told.
Okay, y'all.
You ain't even got to go on. You know, it's done. It's a
That
wrap.
means you got it wrong. You got it wrong.
You might want to go back up to the Joneses.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say for my birthday, we went to Jamaica. No, Bahamas. And she had contacted somebody over in the Bahamas, and they had the room all decorated with the rose petals and the champagne, and the stuff like that for my birthday. So I thought that might have been the most romantic. But apparently I was wrong. So what was more romantic than that?
Well, I guess what I was thinking is not really romantic then, because I was thinking like when quarantine first started, because I'm a goer and I love to dance too. And so when quarantine
look at this, y'all. Look. Can y'all look at all of that. Look at all of that.
No, so
What did you say?
when the quarantine first started, I had redid our entire patio, and I had created one side as a restaurant. So I had the kids involved too. I had created one side as a restaurant, and I put this curtain up, and one side was like a lounge. And so the kids, they served our food. Like one was a waiter. One girl took pictures. Well, one of the girls took pictures. One of the sons was like the bouncer. It was just like really cool and really fun and out the box. So I thought this was say.
That was very creative. Was very creative. But is that what you wrote or no?
No, that's what I wrote.
Yeah.
That ain't what he said. The birthday.
We didn't get the point.
We was way off.
No.
So we didn't get a point.
No.
So it is? Okay. So that's 1 of 2. Right?
Right.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the men. We're gonna give those questions and answers, and then we're gonna go into the chat portion, which is just encouraging each other for this week that's coming. So which one of my men want to go first? Not my men, but which one of the husbands want to go first? Resty? Oh, okay. Go, Resty.
I didn't know this meant I wanted to go first, but I'll go first. All right. So, first question is, do you need to connect prior to sex, or do you find connection through sex?
So this is my answer. What he thought I would say.
Yes.
Okay. What was the question again?
All right, let me read it. Do you need to connect prior to sex, or do you find connection through sex?
I think you would say I need to connect prior.
My answer is she has to connect prior to sex. Ding, 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 ding.
That one. But okay, I would say, yeah. Somebody would say no. Anybody on here? Would you say no? You connect during
All the women said yes.
All
Yeah,
women
no,
should be
based
saying,
on, it's important.
Foreplay
What'd you
starts
say?
in the morning.
No, I'm saying that there's a bit of delay when I'm talking, but all women have to connect prior to sex, because for the woman, it's not really about the sex; it's about the connection, even during the sex and prior to it. So, if you can connect prior to sex, brothers, you can get the sex that you need.
When one of our viewers said, "Connect how? How you? What's the definition of connecting prior to sex? How do you do that?"
Well, I think it's making sure that her needs are met prior to. Some people may say, "Oh, it's like telling her how good she looks." She knows that. Sometimes it's just making sure, and we've been married for 20 years, making sure that the dishes are washed, making sure that the kids are put to bed, making sure that you do the things in the house so that when you get in the bedroom, all those things are taken care of. So it's connecting with her needs outside of the bedroom so that the needs in the bedroom are all taken care of.
Yes, I agree 100%. Because if she has to come home, do the homework, run the bath water, cook the food, wash the clothes, prepare for tomorrow, and then get in the bed and perform, it's like, I'm tired, right? So if you know you want one of them type of nights, then I would say, help her sister out, help her out. Make her load a little lighter for the day. So connecting prior to, like, early in the morning, babe, I'm gonna pick the kids up from school today, or I'm gonna have dinner prepared, or I'm gonna buy dinner and it'll be here. Don't even worry about it. Just come home. That is connecting prior to actually being in the bed. So you're right, Resty. That was very, very, very good. You got a point.
If I can interject on that, if I can. Resty is right. In some of the classes we've been in, what he described was pretty much an act of service.
Love language.
In speaking his wife's love language. And so what I would say is, if you're you need to engage in your wife's love language. Say, for instance, because some wives may not be about act of service, unfortunately. It sounds like your wife is. My wife definitely is. I don't know, but someone might be acts of affirmation, right? Words of affirmation. And so in order for him to engage with his wife, he may need to deliver these words of affirmation to her before he leaves for work, before she leaves for work. Call her at her lunch hour or during his lunch hour. Send a text of words of affirmation. What's another one?
Quality time.
Yeah, spend quality time may be her thing, right? So now quality time may not be necessarily for him to do the cooking, but make sure that he's in the kitchen with her while she is cooking. That way they're sharing the apron per se. And so I would definitely say it's about in finding out what your wife's language is and speaking it on a more consistent basis prior to that evening when you're trying to get your nightcap in or whatever, however you want. I'm trying.
Absolutely, you're right. And you talk about love languages, and I always say you have to become bilingual, right? So your love language and your spouse's love language may be two separate things, but you have to learn their language and they have to learn yours. So that is the time for you to become bilingual, right? And it's not to say that you can't speak your language, but what it does say is that I know what his or her primary language is, and that is what I need to speak to him or her And guess what? When you are being what you want to see, when you are speaking his or her love language, it gives them more encouragement to speak yours because they're being fulfilled, as you said, as someone said about the meal. They're being fulfilled and they're happy and things are light, right? And it makes it easier for me to reciprocate what it is that what I've been receiving. And so those love languages, you guys, if you haven't, go to lovelanguagequiz.com, I think it is. Take the love language quiz and you will definitely find out what your primary love language is and what your spouse love language is. They even have it for the kids, you know? So that's just how important that thing is. So how are we communicating if I'm not talking to you in a way that you can receive it, right? I'm talking at you. I'm talking to you with what I want. And that's the wrong way to get what you want. You don't give what you want. You serve the need of your spouse, right? So thank you for bringing up love languages. That was good. That was good.
What's my love language?
All 5.
Yeah.
He wants to be, he's affectionate. He's really affectionate. So I got to, but he likes the touch, the rub, he likes all of that. And I'm not. So I had to, and I still am, work on becoming bilingual. Am I bilingual? Whatever. I'm bilingual.
You're working on it.
However, I got some work to do.
She got a little work.
I am. What's mine?
Action, service, action.
No.
Yeah, service.
And see, that's
Easy.
why I said his are all of the above, but his primary is definitely affection. Affection, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So next, Naylor, you guys want to go? You want to go next?
Yeah. My question to her is, what is our ideal romantic evening?
Say it again.
What is our ideal romantic evening?
Yeah.
My answer would be, back up, babe. My answer is anywhere overlooking water with food and no kids. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, and what did you say?
And she almost got into a T. That only thing I put on there was probably music and maybe a movie at the end.
But everything else.
Everything.
Okay. That's a point.
All right.
That's a point. That's a point. All right. Floridians.
All right, my first question is, what non-sexual thing does your partner do that really turns you on?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Wait, what non-sexual thing I do or he does?
It says, what non-sexual thing does your partner do that really turns
So
you on?
let me ask this. Did you answer what she does or what you do?
I answer what she
Okay,
does.
so answer what you do that's non-sexual that turns him on. You like, I thought everything.
Dancing? Oh, when I dance?
When you dance? Is that
Yeah, I mean, I love to dance. Yeah.
That's pretty non-sexual overtones there. Yeah.
Is that your answer?
Not at all. I said think independently. I said think independently and takes initiative.
Oh, I didn't think that way. Oh.
Okay, you guys, you broke up. I couldn't hear it. Say it again. What was your answer?
My answer was think independently and takes initiative.
Oh, well, see, now this right here is like a learning. You're learning something, right?
Yeah.
I think that was amazing.
Yeah.
But his answer was amazing for you. Like, that speaks volume. You said dancing though.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, she dances a lot, but that's just what she do. That don't necessarily mean that I'm thinking that it's turning me on. That's just what you do. You dance in front of everybody. It's not just me. You dance. That's what you do. So I've stopped looking at that as a non-sexual turn on a long time ago. That's just Shasta dance. that's how I see it.
So what she did, what I think she just did was speak her love language to you. Like she gave what she liked, that turns her on, right? So she spoke that to you, and you're like, no, it's something else.
Yeah, we passed that.
Okay.
We passed that.
It's a whole lot more intellectual.
That is hilarious. Well, no point for you. No point. All right. Question number 2. All right. Did we do Deron? Okay, go ahead, Deron.
No.
I didn't. If you had skipped me, I was gonna take the point to try to keep up with the nailers, though. That's just what I was gonna do, But no, you didn't.
No.
So here we go. It says, what advice would we give a younger couple? What advice would we give a younger couple?
And I'm answering the way you would answer.
You answering?
Yeah, I'm answering.
You answering the way because it says, what advice would we give a younger couple?
Okay. I would say we would tell a younger couple, meaning they're married, right?
Cheers.
Okay.
Just starting off.
Okay, so I would tell a younger couple that they would need to sow into their marriage by attending like marriage conferences and getting into, like build groups with married couples to really learn tools and techniques and continue to grow in their marriage. So continue to sow into your marriage in the good times and the bad times. Continue to sow into your marriage by, like I said, being in fellowship with other married couples on this journey with you, and attending marriage conferences and as much as you can. That's what I would say. That's what I think we would say.
Well, that's some good advice.
All right.
Well, that's some good advice.
But let's see what he
I
says.
have. So this is what I got. See, right here it say first, love God first. But right there it says, engage in a marriage class, build group, and invest in your marriage by retreats and classes. Yay. So that's what it do say right there. Yes.
All right, you got that point. You got the point. And that's good advice. That's very good advice. And some of our viewers are saying very good advice. Absolutely. Invest the time in your marriage. Very good. Somebody said, I got good advice. She's back on the sex part, I think. When the sex is right, you can't go wrong. Well, that's what she said. Somebody said you keep God at the center of your marriage. And you said that, Deron. So that's great advice. Very good. So you got the point.
Yeah, you got the point.
Yeah.
Resty, what's your second question?
All right. So my second question is, what most frightens you about growing old?
What most frightens me about growing old? Ooh.
Yeah.
About me growing old?
Well, I mean, I'm reading it as it says you. So, question says you.
I would say probably you not being here. Like if anything ever happened to you.
Wow. Okay.
Is that what you said?
You know what? That's what I'm hearing. And I love what I'm hearing. But that's not what I said.
Oh, you don't get a point.
You don't get a point.
What did you
You'll get a point on this
I'm being-
board,
and I'm
but you
being
get a
black.
point over there.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of points over here. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, you get a whole lot.
No,
of
I
points.
said, I may have misinterpreted the question as well a little bit, but this is what I said. I said us not fulfilling everything that God told us to accomplish in our life when we get old. In other words, not exercising or extracting all of purpose out of our life when we get older. That's what I thought she would say.
No, that sounds like what you would say.
Okay. Well, all right. I still love you though. Give me a kiss.
Well, they were both great answers. They were both great answers. Being afraid to grow old and lose your best friend, your husband, and then being afraid to grow old and not have fulfilled all that God has put before you to do, right? Because there's other lives and other things and other people that are involved in what He has purposed for us to do. And when you look at marriage like that, when you look at marriage as being serving others, because although we're serving each other, guess who else we're serving? The onlookers. Guess who else we're serving? We're serving couples who don't know how to do God in their relationship or in their marriage. We're serving those who are struggling. So being, what God has called you to be and doing what God has called you to do, it is kind of scary. Like, you don't want to miss the mark because there's some things that's going to help somebody get free in this thing called marriage. So both very, very good answers.
Right.
And
actually, you can't do that if you're not alive. So you see what I'm saying? Like it goes together.
Oh, that's
so in other
good.
words, if I wasn't here, we needed to do. So it's kind of worthy of a point. That's what I think that's what I hear her saying.
Or like Deron would say, 0.5.
0.5, 0.8, something like that. Come on, give me 3 more. Give me 3.
Very good. Great try, though. Great try. All right, let's go on. Mr. Naylor?
All right, so this question is, how is your partner different from their parents?
How did what?
How is your partner different from their parents?
Oh, how is your partner different from their parents? Okay. So, Nikki, how is he different from his parents?
Oh, how is he different from his?
Yeah.
Right.
There's no difference. There's no difference. There's no difference. His parents are old school Kojic, if that makes sense. So he may not be as strict, but there's no difference.
Very different.
No, there is no difference.
Oh, no difference.
No difference. No.
And what is your answer?
If she was gonna get this wrong, me and her were gonna be arguing tonight. Because we talk about this all the time with the difference of parents and just our backgrounds. And she's right. Like people say, everybody that know me always say that I'm a carbon copy of my mom and dad. They said that I'm like I'm both of them, and even the way that I run, not my mama.
He is his mama.
But even the way that how my family is done, that is no different. Me and her, I got 5 kids. It's a family of 5, just like my mom and dad is a family of 5. And it's funny because my mom was the first one to actually say Naylor's 5, and she just added on to it. And then when I came along with my family, I took over that Naylor's Fried thing. So she was actually right. There was no difference between us.
All
No
right.
difference. All
You
right.
got the point. You got the point. All right.
Good job.
Next.
All right. Well, we actually got the same question as the Jones. That my second question is, what advice would we give a younger couple?
Two of those.
I think he would say to communicate as often as possible and to keep people out your business.
And what?
Okay, I said communicate openly, honestly, and continuously.
Do they get a point, you guys? Yeah. Everybody saying nothing.
Thank you.
Half the point. Half the point. Was that everybody in there too? Or are we missing somebody that with the second question?
I got the last one bringing in the rear. I don't mean
Okay,
to
come
put this
on,
pressure
Duran.
on you, but if we don't get it, then that means the Nailers win. No,
Double pressure.
I don't know.
They keep it-
Nailers, where y'all from? Y'all
Yeah, we
stay
in
out here in
LA.
SoCal? Okay, all right.
All right.
All right, y'all ain't too far from us
We
then.
neighbors.
All right. So this second question. What did you learn from your parents about marriage?
You better not have got this wrong. Oh my gosh. I hope I get this right. I would say stickability. I would say just hanging in there. My parents have been married. Gosh, I'm 45. So my parents have been married 47 years now, 48 years now. And my mom, my dad has advanced Alzheimer's, and my mom takes care of him and has been taking care of him for the last 4 or 5 years. And I've just never seen a stronger woman, someone who stands beside him, and they're amazing. So stickability, just you hang in there. My dad and my mom had a rough road, but my mom never left, and she trusted God, and she was like, this is my husband. I am staying with him, and we're going to be a family. And she just taught me how to hang in there. So.
Nice.
Nice.
What was your answer?
My answer was stability, endurance, long suffering, and patience. So that's what that's what I wrote right there.
Yeah.
And
well, that's
I don't.
pretty much what she said.
That's pretty much what she said. That's pretty much
what she said. So we got to go ahead and give you the point.
Yes.
Which means, what does that mean?
It's a tie.
You tied with the
Michelle, give us an icebreaker question for the Nailers and the Jones.
Give us a what? An icebreaker? A tiebreaker?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Naylor, what's your first name?
Devon.
What's that?
Sean.
No, your first name.
Devon. She can't hear you.
Sean.
Sean. Okay. Sorry, we can't hear you very well. But we're going to do a sing off for the tiebreaker because Mr. Jones told us that he has recorded music and he's getting ready for his world tour. And we want to be entertained. No pressure, Mr. Naylor. No pressure. So we're going to have a sing off, and
Wow.
since Mr. Jones is the most experienced of the two, I'm going to ask Mr. Naylor to go first. And everybody keep an open mind and an open heart. Most importantly, an open ear as these two men come forth and bless us, essentially.
Come on with it.
So, Mr. Naylor, take it away.
Let's go.
There is a rule in our marriage. He is not to sing in public. We ain't doing that.
Sing in
public.
Is it that bad?
Not record music. And
I am so.
own words up to music.
I heard that. Don't embarrass your man.
Well, if he wants to win, or so by default, do the Jones win then?
That's not really fair. You chose his gift.
I know, that's not fair.
Come on, Michelle. Come up with another one.
Wow, come up with another one. So, okay, well, if let's still use words then. Can you, Mr. Naylor, he's covering his face. I can't. Mr. Naylor, can you give us 3 to 4 lines of a poem then? You don't have to sing it, but can you say it to your wife?
Post a Tupac for him, baby.
Well, singing ain't really my thing.
Just say it.
But I would just do a line from from when we got married. So if she know.
Okay.
I was made to love you, my arms to hold you, my arms to reach you, my heart to reach you.
Hey, you gotta give them A for effort.
Right. Yay.
All right. We still did it.
All right.
Devon.
Good job, Devon.
Yeah.
You know, so what I have
Mr.
to
Jones.
do, I have to read a poem or
Sing a song.
sing a song, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate doing this stuff.
It is, but he really does actually. Except when he's on stage at church.
All right, let me see. I'll remember. Man, I guess the song need to fit the moment, huh? Okay.
That one.
Keep it simple.
Sing your wedding song.
Huh?
He said your wedding song.
You know, I was
said,
thinking
sing
about
your
that,
wedding song.
and I remember I forgot them words too. Remember I said that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
You know what?
Huh?
I did the same thing, so you in good company. I did the same thing, so you're in good company. We just wrote our own song. That's all. Don't worry about that.
All right.
There you go.
So I'll do a little snippet then. When I'm with you, I wonder why people do stop and stare and smile at us. When I'm with you, the sun shines my way. Maybe our love reflects its rays of love on everyone in the world. When I'm with you, it's for real. What I feel when I'm with you.
All right.
Michelle set you up. Michelle said we're gonna get him to sing.
He gonna sing. He
Right,
gonna sing the song.
right.
He wrote it.
All right.
But
So how are we gonna do this tiebreaker? To my viewers that are
No,
looking,
that was just practice. That was just practice. Thank you for participating. The real icebreaker. The real icebreaker is I'm getting ready to write a number between how many years have you been married, the Jones?
24.
24. And how long have you been together, the Nailers?
17.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to write a number from 1 to 17, and whoever comes closest to that number, okay? So here we go. Only my husband is the witness. Okay, I have the number here, so you could say what the number is. From 1 to 24.
All right, we'll start with the Joneses. What's the number?
they're not there. Wait,
Oh,
I
okay.
think they're
We gonna say 11.
they're.
Okay.
Oh, we
Okay,
can hear
let's
them.
say
What's the
11.
number?
Your number's
Okay.
11.
11.
And it's,
Your number's 11.
and it's
Uh-huh.
between 1
And
and
then the
24.
neighbor, what's your number?
It's between 1 and 24.
17.
Between 1 and 24.
Oh, I thought so.
Yep.
12.
Wow.
Really? All right, ladies and gentlemen, for your grand prize of $100,000 tonight. No. The Joneses have taken it with number 11.
What was the number?
The number was number 6.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Good job. Good job.
The Joneses have taken.
All right, all right.
Joneses.
So, Mr. and Mrs. So here's the thing. This is my first time meeting them on here. Like, I don't know them and they don't know me. I met them through Alvin Eddington. And so I just love when people are available to just do stuff that is going to kingdom build. This is kingdom building, whether you guys know it or not. But this is definitely kingdom building. And so again, I say thank you so much for coming. I make sure that I get your address, Brandy. Call me a little later so I can ship your gift off to you. It'll be some Let's Be Clear t-shirts, masks, my book. And actually I'm gonna donate Michelle's book as well. So Michelle, I'll purchase a book for you for them. Actually, I want to purchase your book, Michelle, for every woman that's on this call tonight. Okay. That's my, absolutely. That is my thank you and my appreciation. But before we end, we're gonna start with something encouraging, to get our week started, because we know that some of us, we know that there's a lot ahead of us. And many of us don't know what's ahead of us, right? And so both of those things can be sometimes a little, you can be a little anxious, right? Like, okay, what is this week gonna bring? Because there's been so much heavy stuff going on, and we just have to address it as we face it, as we get to it. And so I wanna say to everyone, even the viewers, but to you that are on this call tonight, not call, but the video, I wanna say, go through this week, go in this week with purpose. Be intentional. Like when you wake up, be intentional about what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, right? And then summons that thing by writing it down. So I challenge you to write down 2 things that you would like to see this week, whether it be great health, whatever it is, there's nothing too small and there's nothing too large. Whatever you want to see, as Habakkuk 2:2 says, you're going to write the vision and make it plain, right? Sometimes we ask for things from our significant others, and we haven't even made it plain to them. But like, what does that look like? What is the plan? And once you get there, what's the plan once you reach the plan, right? Life doesn't stop. You have a goal for your marriage, you reach the goal, and then what, right? So there always have to be something after that. So going into this week, I say be intentional, write the vision, make it plain, and just affirm yourself with those things. That's mine.
Going into this week, I believe I would like to see to them, of course. I would like for you as a couple. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. So, man, I would have you to challenge yourself to be a service to your significant other, your spouse, your husband, your wife. Challenge yourself to be a service to them. A lot of times in life and in our circle, in our relationships, we get tireless, we get busy, there's so many challenges and things that are going on throughout the week. And we sometimes forget that person just might need some type of service from us. They might just need something from us that we wouldn't normally give, or we may sometimes give, and it's just something that they are seeking from you, your spouse, at that time or during this week. And I'll just challenge you to focus on being a service to your partner for this week in some aspect.
So something that I like to say that I do when we talk about serving, I say, ask your spouse, how can I serve you today? Like, wake up in the morning before you brush your teeth, but after you thank God for waking you up. Say, how can I serve you today, right? And sometimes that's so hard to answer. But there's so many things that we always require or we expect them to do. But as soon as we're asked, how can I serve you today? We're stuck. So let's try that this week. That's a good one, babe. Jones.
You can do this one.
Yes.
Give us something for the week.
What I would say, just to add with how can I serve you for the day? I would like to encourage us on this call, as well as the couples that may be listening, as the Marriage Build group that we're in, we're focusing on communication. And so right now we're focusing on speaking languages that are not to tear down our spouse. So we want to encourage us to encourage, look for words that continuously build up, but definitely not to tear down. Every word don't necessarily have to build up, but we definitely want to look to use to communicate in a way where we're not tearing down. To keep our avenues of communication open. And so one way that, even though during this week, because definitely we know by us doing this, the devil is going to seek to somehow get in our marriage, right? So start building an avenue, start building a venue or an avenue where you can have a safe communication. And that might be where you allow the other to talk about a problem they're having without receiving any judgment or response at that time. It's just merely to allow them to be able to express themselves and start to build blocks that way. So no tearing down, and open up an avenue, keep an avenue open of communication for your spouse to express any problem that they may have.
Very good.
Very good.
That's a very good takeaway. Very good takeaway. Collins.
You know what? Number one, I want to thank you all for the space, and thank you for really seeing the importance of marriage in this season. Marriage is something that is being torn down, is being broken down. in our country at the highest level, for you all to see the importance of it. Obviously, being married yourself, it's important, but also leaving a seed to the next generation is key. And these types of opportunities do that. But what I would admonish or share with us is that we be spontaneous this week. A lot of times you're married for long periods of time and you get into a routine. And I think you, both you, Eric and Tam, you guys have talked about that. A lot of times we get very, very stuck in a routine. But if we become spontaneous with each other in ways of leaving maybe small gifts around the house, leaving a little note or something that lets your spouse know that you love them in very hidden places. So it could be in the bathroom, could be in the bedroom, under the pillow. It might be under the sink, the kitchen sink, but just do something that's spontaneous. And when you do that, find some space, whether it be in your house or outside of your house, so that you and your spouse can rekindle the fire that was when you first met. So I would admonish everybody practically to find some gifts. Go out to dinner, even if you got to eat outside, even if you got to go eat at the park, go get some chicken and some potato salad and just go sit at the park. Do something different so that you start to create memories, again, fresh memories that will carry you on for the next 20, 15, 17 years.
Very good. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Thank you.
Sure,
Naylor.
absolutely.
I would encourage the couples to send your spouse a text during the day, just to let them know that you're thinking of them. They may be having a bad day, and that I love you or I'm thinking of you may be what they need to push them forward. So I'm encouraging everyone to try to send a text to their spouse this week, daily.
I love that one.
Yes, he does.
Yes, I do.
Shasta, Tyrone, it's on you.
Oh, thank you. I want to say thank you for allowing us to join too. I like to do things like this because I think, again, we're dating with a purpose, but I think it helps us to start off on a really, really good foundation. One of the things I would encourage everyone to do is spend some time praying together every day. That's one of the things that we do every single morning before we walk out the door. My love language is quality time, and his is physical touch. So our time is that hug in the morning before we leave, and we pray before we walk out the door. So I think you should always spend that time.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. That prayer is definitely sealing, or a good way to start your day. A good way to start your morning is praying, thanking God for each other and just another day, and asking him to show you how to maneuver and operate throughout that day. So those were all very, very good, encouraging words that we all said tonight. Again, I want to say thank you all for joining us on another, this isn't a regular session of Let's Be Clear, but again, I know usually on Let's Be Clear, it is something that may have been traumatic in a marriage or a relationship that they've crossed over into something good. But here's the thing. Usually the couple that's on the show, they've gotten healed. They're healed. But the viewers may not necessarily be healed. So that can open up some wounds that haven't necessarily healed completely, So I said, okay, I don't want to always open wounds. I don't always want to have people go back and remind them of some things that they've gone through that has caused some hardship. And so we decided to do something like this after so many episodes of Let's Be Clear. And so I'm glad that we did. This is the first one. And now we know, how to do it moving forward. We'll change some things, add some things. But again, thank you so much for being available tonight. I know you could have been doing many other things, but you said yes to our call. And because of that, we salute you. We thank you. We love you. You will be in our prayers. If you need us for anything, please do not hesitate. I tell Michelle, call me, because I call her so much to help me do this. Let's do this. Can you help me with this? And she's always like, okay, why not? She always, why not? Yeah, sure. And so I want you all to know, as I tell Michelle, this is not a one-sided relationship. This goes both ways. Kingdom building is kingdom building. You are my sisters, you are my brothers, and so that God is just now introducing me to, and I'm so grateful for that. So if you need me in any shape, form, or fashion, I don't need to be in the front. I can be in the back. If you need me to write something up for you, sign some things, mail some stuff off for you, whatever it is, if I can be of assistance, please call me. I would love to serve. So again, thank you all. Did you want to say thank you? Or
I concur with that. Yeah, I did have some things to say, but she said it all. I actually want to thank each and every one that was on the show. Well, on this platform tonight. Thank each and every couple. This was exciting. It was fun. Because we talked about how fun it was going to be, but it actually exceeded that. So I want to thank all the people that chimed in. Thank you for chiming in with your comments, your affirmations, your suggestions. Just thank everyone that came on the show tonight and attended the show. So I just want to say, just stay focused. Stay focused on you. Stay focused on your partner. Your relationships are, we tend to, with everything going on and everything going on in the world, we see things, visually with our eyes. But in relationships, it's more or less about what you feel and what you feel in your heart, what you have going on inside your spirit man, your spirit woman, the woman in you, the man in you. You definitely want to tap into those things, tap into those emotions more or less, because like I said, there's so much going on in the world, and we tend to overlook things that are most important to us, and that would be the person right there, sitting right beside you. So I just want to say, focus more on tapping into that person that has invested their time in you and you in them.
So that's it. If nobody else have anything else to say, we're going to sign off and say thank you. We ask that you join us next Friday for our show, where we'll be talking to a couple who are recently married, but they got married and got pregnant immediately. And so we're going to talk about that. That's going to be our discussion, I told them, I said their names. You know that song that says so-and-so and so-and-so sitting in the tree, Kissing. First come love, then come marriage, then come the baby in the baby carriage. Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, because they did it in God's order, right? They loved, they kissed, they had a baby, right? They got married and they had a baby, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way I feel. But if you can, please join us next week, next Friday at 6 p.m., same place, same time. And we would love to have you as one of our viewers. So if there's nothing else, we want to say thank you. We're going to sign off. And we will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. You're welcome.